What's going on, y'all? It's BF and Kruma. And let me be clear, you might see this title. This is not a what about black on black crime video. This is not correlating police brutality to what we do in-house at all. This is about our hypocrisies that cause us to be defenseless. The cure to all of our issues is self-reliance and independence. That period, point blank. And I can't say this enough for y'all. Racism is dependent upon the oppressed needing the oppressor. The moment we don't need the oppressor, there can be no racism, all right? Can't express that enough. Now, with that thought in mind, we have police because we're not stepping up to be the police for ourselves. We have these white banks and these white businesses, or Asian or Middle Eastern, all this different stuff, because we're refusing to build all of our own stuff. We have education system that's miseducating us, and the judicial system that's sending us to jail because we refuse to take up our own. Now, if watching George Floyd die, or Alton Sterling, that's the last one I watched. I couldn't watch anymore after that. If watching black men die is uncomfortable and unsettling for us, how is it comfortable to listen and dance to music that's all about killing black men and black men dying? How is that comfortable? I'm seeing everybody talking about, send me the Addy, I'm hunting them down. Or it used to be, Mitch caught a body about a week ago. You start dancing. How do we dance to our own self-destruction? Again, this has nothing to do with police brutality. I'm talking about the cure. I'm talking about the solution. I'm talking about us getting rid of the hypocrisies that cause us to be vulnerable. What does it do to our psyche if we continually listen to music, watch movies and shows that are about us down? We desensitize ourselves to our own death. And we kill the warriors. We're allowing the warriors to be miseducated. We're allowing the warriors to be pawns and puppets for the white man. Thomas Sankara said, a warrior without political education becomes a thug. And that's what we're dealing with in our communities. Thuggish type behavior from the warrior class because they have not been educated. And instead of us trying to educate, we just normalize all of the insanity. We just normalize all of our pain. We just normalize all of our trauma. It's one thing to make a song talking about what's going on in your community and people dying in your community. It's another thing to be saying, send me the Addy, I'm going to hunt them down. And then for everybody to just sing along to it. How can we protect ourselves if we're not even concerned with protecting ourselves? We cannot go to war with the police, or war might be a too strong a word for some of y'all. We cannot protect ourselves from police if we're fighting each other. Again, because I know somebody's still going to try to say, I'm trying to connect what's going on in the community to police brutality. No. My connection is, if we do right in our communities, we can be in a position where we can protect ourselves from the police, where we can protect ourselves from the banking system, where we can protect ourselves from the education system, from the judicial system. But if we're not focused on actually liberating ourselves and liberating our minds and altering some of our actions, we're not going to see nothing change. We can't keep saying we want change, but we don't want to change nothing about ourselves. How we want everything around us to change but us. It's some stuff that we got to do. We need to do. Our future is predicated on the changing of some of our behaviors. The changing of some of the things we're allowing in our mind through our ears and through our eyes. The changing of some of the things that come out of our mouths. We have to have some self-accountability. Again, not accountability for the cops killing you. But we do have to have accountability for us not being in position to be able to protect ourselves. That's the accountability that we have. How have you experienced racism? How have you experienced prejudice? How have you experienced oppression? And then how come we had to experience it? Why didn't we have some kind of infrastructure in place in order to protect ourselves from that experience? And that's all I'm calling us to do. We got to change our actions. We got to get out of party mode for a while, y'all. I ain't saying it's wrong, going out every once in a while. I ain't saying, I'm going to go out, I'm going to travel, I fly. I like to enjoy myself too. But we can't constantly, every day, be pouring all of this negative stuff into our psyche. We can't constantly, every day, destroy our own communities. The reason why gentrification is able to happen is because we didn't decide to take control of the communities. Now, I ain't saying gentrification is good, nor am I condoning the actions and the purpose why they're doing the gentrification. All I'm saying is if we had have protected ourselves. So we gotta expose the hypocrisies that keep us vulnerable. Are you willing to change? Or are you going to look at all calls for accountability as blame? This ain't about blame. This is about accountability. I ain't blaming us for what happened to us. I'm not blaming us for conditions. I'm saying let's have some accountability so we can change it. But if you don't want to change none of your own behaviors, how do we expect change? I'm tired of us begging the white man to change. I'm tired of I can't breathe shirts. I can breathe, goddammit. I would not dare put that shit on my body. Hands up, don't shoot. We begging them to be better. We begging them to recognize us as men and women or as human. We begging them to treat us right. I ain't begging nobody nothing. How about we put ourselves in position to where they know better than to mistreat us? Because that's what we're going to do with each other. You're not going to beg nobody in the streets. You're going to make them respect you. It's time for us to do the same thing with them. So we got to change some of our behaviors. We got to change what we watch, what we listen to. We got to change our moral ethics, things that we are okay with in our community, because right now we allow any and everything to go on. It's nothing that's off limits in the hood. We just grow to accept any kind of behavior. Let's expose these hypocrisies. Let's not look at all accountability as blame, but let's hear it and say, all right, damn. All right, if we change this about ourselves, we can change this about how we're vulnerable. I keep saying the same thing so you can get it. So we can get it. So you don't think it as blame. So you don't think I'm trying to connect it to police brutality. No. What can we do so that we are not vulnerable? And the only way to change your vulnerability is to change certain things about yourself. Let's turn these warriors back into warriors, as opposed to allowing them to become thugs and then celebrating the thuggish behavior. Is that cool with y'all? I mean, is that clear enough right there? Let's turn our warrior class back to warriors and not thugs by no longer condoning thuggish behavior. That's all I'm asking. It's BF and Crewman.